very warm welcome to Let's Get It On with me, Suzanne Letting. Each week we're going to be listening to brand new releases from artists all over the globe. So now's the time to grab that cup of tea, that cup of coffee, or even a glass of wine as we get lost in some fabulous music.
Five, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Well, hello and a very warm welcome to your Saturday night with me, Suzanne Letting, here on Let's Get It On. We're going to go straight over to Sweden with electronic DJ and producer JXNS with Electric Cathedral.
Shoes through city heat, pockets full of promises we'd never keep. Chase the sirens down to dead-end streets, hearts like flint, too young to see the spark was cheap. Now the colors bleed into quiet gray, but some nights I still taste that stray. I am your captive, dancing in desire, burning slowly as I cross the wire. Lost in surrender, caught in the crossfire. Your electric cathedral, I breathe the fire.
What a great track to start the show with. I hope that's got you in the mood for the next track, because we're now going to go over to Toxic Project and Zulu Z. Two of my favourite artists have collaborated. This is Accidental Evolution. Toxic Project there, and Zulu Z with Accidental Evolution. Toxic Project is the alias of Sebastian Cortez, who is an electronic music producer and DJ based in Mexico City. And Zulu Z, you'll find information on Facebook, and I will be tagging the artist, so you'll be able to do that. Gosh, can we believe that September is here? The kids are back at school. Time still seems to be evaporating fast, doesn't it? And I've got a special surprise that I might be able to release to you later on in the show. But for now, we're going to turn to Kim Lunner, back with a brand new track. This is Black Circuitry. Kim Lunner there from Town and Towers record label with Black Circuitry. Now another brilliant track I'm going to share with you. Wesley Reed and Future Analog again have collaborated, and they've produced this brilliant track. You can always guarantee top class, top draw from these two. This is Lights Shine Bright, and they certainly do.
Chasing all our dreams tonight. and now we're free, chasing all our wildest dreams. Come on, begin, and you will see. Find a reason to believe. Promise lost, a broken dream, yearning hearts outside of pain. We'll show them how it has to be what's fun. We're feeling young and free. Still wait till the morning light. Say it's fifth, so it's sunlight. We'll reach for the skies, like stars on the rise. Yeah, we'll break the darkness, the sheets of light. Losing our worries, our dreams take flight. We're long as a guide. The lights shine bright, bright. We both know that sun will rise. Death by the night. That sun will rise. Death by the night. It's beneath the pale light. It feels so right. It feels so right. Chasing all our dreams tonight. We'll still wait till the morning light. Say it's fifth, so it's sunlight. We'll reach for the skies, like stars on the rise. Yeah, in the darkness, the sheets of light. Losing our worries, our dreams take flight. We're long as a night. The lights shine bright, bright. We'll still wait till the morning light. Say it's fifth, so it's sunlight. We'll reach for the skies, like stars on the rise. Yeah, in the darkness, the shades of light. Losing our worries, our dreams take flight. We're gone as a night. The lights shine bright, bright.
Whoa, that was brilliant. Future Analog there, and Wesley Reed with Lights Shine Bright. Future Analog has created his own take on the genre with a fusion of retro influences alongside modern pop production and contemporary beats. Featured several times on BBC Introducing, which is not easy to get. Future Analog has gone on to collaborate with many artists in the synth pop and synthwave universe, and Wesley Reed is an indie singer-songwriter from the US and half of the transatlantic duo OAG. After 20-year absence from music, he resumed making music again in 2017, and he adds his own sparkle of magic with those vocals. They are just pure genius. They really are. They're wonderful to listen to, and I'm so pleased that Wesley is still creating music for us to hear. Now then, the next artist for you, you've heard all about him before, Andrew Deneen, aka Andre Paul. His track, Before I Die, he has reinvented it, and that's what some of the artists do. Once they've laid down their original track, they might go back to it and revisit it and reimagine it. So you'll find, obviously, sometimes remixes of this song, but what Andrew's done with this is he's stripped it back just to a piano and his voice, and I've no idea why he hasn't been singing before now. So this is Andre Paul with Before I Die.
Not a singer, not a star, no piano strings or guitar, but these songs I wrote for you, hope they touch you through and through. Not famous, not unique, no talent that you see, but every word I say is true. These notes I leave for you. Hear me now before I'm gone. In my heart you'll find a song. Not much time, don't let it slip before I take my final trip. No spotlight for my name, no glory, no acclaim, but a simple melody some peace to me. Life's a fleeting, fragile race, not a contest, not a chase. All I ask before I die. But listen now, don't ask me why. Hear me now before I'm gone. In my heart you'll find a song. Not much time, don't let it slip before I take my final trip.
They say less is more, and in that case, with Andrew singing with just a piano behind him, wasn't that wonderful? Those vocals are simply adorable, and I have no idea why Andrew hasn't thought about singing before. He's always been creating music, but instrumentals, so it's so lovely to hear his voice. More, please, Andrew. Now then, Project Itch releases its 12th single, once again as a 3-part edition consisting of the main single, a remix edition and an instrumental remix edition. The release will also be accompanied by a brand new music video. With an angel on earth, this is Project Itch.
Domain
Don't you just love a bit of sax in a track? Now, I have to say that slowly because it raises a few eyebrows when I say it in public, but it just adds that little touch, doesn't it? That was Project Itch with An Angel on Earth, and the single serves as another preview of an upcoming third studio album, A Beautiful Day in Autumn, which is going to be released in October 24 via the German indie label Ecozone. And guess who's on that? Yours truly. Yes, we've collaborated. Ulf Miller and I have been working on a track called A Beautiful Day in Autumn, and he's invited other collaborators, so that's one to listen out for when it comes out in October. Right, we're going to go over to Perfect Female Type now with Frosty. Perfect Female Type there with Frosty. Hailing from the vibrant music scene of Minneapolis, Jason Herbold has emerged as a luminary figure in the retro synth world as Perfect Female Type. What a great track that is too. Now then, hot off the press is a brand new track from Hat or Belt. I'll tell you a little bit about them when we come back, but this is You Never Know.
Spirits high. I don't know where next year
Hat or Belt is the stage name of London-based songwriter, music maker Keith, who describes his song as reflective indio-syncratic pop. Think indie and synth pop. Idiosyncratic. To complete the Hat or Belt sound, add a dash of melancholy, catchy riffs, humble tunes, and a very English spoken sung vocals. And that was You Never Know. Certainly one to watch. Follow them on Spotify. Don't forget, I will be tagging all of the artists that you're listening to on the show on my Facebook page, so you can go and like them. And yes, they've all been added to the Beastie tracks on Spotify. There will be a link on my Facebook promo so that you can listen to them all over again without me babbling away in the background. And that leads us up very nicely into set 2. So I'm going to go and grab a cup of tea. You can go and get your cup of tea, your cup of coffee, your glass of wine, your pint of ale, or whatever you fancy, and sit back as we dive into set 2 and some more brand new releases for your ears. Right, I've got my trusty cup of tea in hand, and we're going to kick off set 2 with List and Jessie Mack. This is Downhill Drift. That was List and Jessie Mack. Now, List is the product of Saturday morning MTV, Depeche Mode, and an obsession with arpeggios going way back to his youth. And French producer Jessie Mack, he offers listeners a stroll into his childhood memories. It's a kind of remake of the 80s as he experienced them and as he remembers them. What a great coupling that is. Next up is Light Source with Drive. Two perfect tracks for the Beastie Tracks, which is on Spotify, to drive to. So let's have a listen to this first of all. This is Light Source with Drive. Lightsource is a UK-based synthwave artist on the Retro Synth Records label. Feels blessed to have grown up in the 80s. It was a decade full of music, exploration and the birth of so many legendary artists and bands. That was Drive, and that's gone into the Beastie Tracks. It's a perfect one to drive to. Now then, we're going to rip up the airwaves now with Jeremiah Kane, a new artist for you to get to know, like and love. This is Shredwave, and I'll tell you a little bit about them when we come back. Was Jeremiah Kane there with Shredwave. Now, they are blazing out of Poznan in Poland, and they've been setting Europe on fire since 2017 with their explosive blend of glam metal riffs and vintage synth power. That is one for you, Duncan. Honestly, two genres blended together, your favourite genres in one artist. So I think you're going to love that. Now then, just a quick shout out. It's my better half's birthday today. I want to wish my Steve a very happy birthday, and it's also also my cousin Debbie's birthday today. So Debs, I hope you have a lovely day too. And if it is your birthday this weekend, well, I hope you're listening to the show with some bubbly, because we've got some brilliant tracks coming up for you. Next up is Arena, another new artist for you to get to know, like and love. And this is No Easy Way Out, featuring Robert Tupper. That was Arena with No Easy Way Out, after picking up his first guitar at the age of 10 Joey Arena knew there was no plan B. Music was going to be his purpose. Making friends with the road at the age of 17 and living one night at a time, the stages grew bigger and bigger, as did fans along the way. Arena grew up in a city of arts, Rochester in New York City. And that was a brilliant track. Another new artist for you next is White Ash. This is Round We Go, and I'll tell you a little bit about them when we come back. That was White Ash with Round We Go. Now, White Ash is an indie folk outfit hailing from Liverpool, where I was very recently, fusing heartfelt melodies with a refreshingly authentic spirit. With a growing presence across Instagram, TikTok, YouTube and Facebook, the band brings its vibrant energy directly to fans. And I think you'll agree, Round We Go is a brilliant debut track from these artists, and I'm really looking forward to hearing more from them. They've got some upcoming shows in some very iconic Liverpool venues, so if you are round and about in Liverpool, just go on over and try and find out where White Ash is. I'll try and tag them on Facebook for you so you can find out a little bit more about them. What a brilliant track, and a brilliant debut track that was as well. Next up is JC, John Coleman. I found this in my little box of tricks here, and I thought, oh, do you know what? I really loved the track when it was first released. This is Torch Songs for Divas, but this is the instrumental version. Do you remember I talk about sometimes tracks are so beautiful they don't need lyrics and they don't need vocals with them, and sometimes when they add the vocals and the lyrics, it raises the track up another notch or two because they both complement each other. Well, for now, this is the instrumental version, which I think you're going to enjoy. John V. Coleman there, aka JC, with Torch Songs for Divas. That was the instrumental version. Come on, John, we need some more from you. It's lovely to have you back on the airwaves with us. Another new artist for you now. This is Starlink coming up next with The Last Ride. was Starlink there, who give us music for space travelling with The Last Ride. Now, last up for set 2, and who's going to set us up really nicely for set 3, because as you know, that is the Palette Changers. That's the opportunity for other artists from other genres to have their music on the show, is a self-taught Italian musician. First and foremost was a drummer, but in his compositions he also sings and plays percussion, guitar, bass and keyboards. He has recorded with Bob Mintzer, Tobin Mueller, Oz Noy and Alan Pasqua. Ugo firmly believes that by listening you learn. So this is Ugo Rossi with Cold Blue, and I will see you in just a moment after another cuppa for set 3. So don't go away.
Na, 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 na. Na, 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 na.
listening to Spectrum On Air, the colourful voice of radio. Broadcasting live on SpectrumOnAir.com, Get Me Radio and Mixcloud Live. And never fear, if you've missed your favourite programme, just find our Listen Again service on Mixcloud.com. Spectrum On Air, putting the colour back into radio.
Oh, that was the wonderful Mr. Steve Blacknell there, whose book Tales from the Bedroom Wall is still selling like hotcakes off Amazon. If you want to grab your copy, I suggest you do quickly because it's a great tale. He has you laughing on every page. He writes the book as he speaks, so I can hear his voice when I'm reading the book, and I haven't finished it yet. I'm savouring it for when I'm away, which I am next week and the week after, which brings me to a little idea I've got. So I'm going to have a listener takeover of my show. The wonderful Paul Gibson here in my village. We have a wonderful village here, you know, some great people in it. He's shaking in his boots at the thought of having to do a listener takeover for my show. But I am away next week, and then I'm back for a few days, and then I'm away the following week to Malaysia. So getting the show done on time is nigh on impossible at the moment these days with these little short breaks. But I think Paul's going to do a great job, and I'm hoping that he usurps me because he's going to be doing a new show for us on Spectrum On Air called The Shires, where he and Duncan, Lord Duncan of the Folly you may remember, will be getting together and having a natter with various local guests. And I've just had dropped off this morning from Vanessa in the village a lovely hedgerow jam. Yes, I did say hedgerow because she's collected various fruits from the hedgerows in our village and she's created a jam, and I'll be trying that on my toast tomorrow morning. Right, enough of that. We need to get on with set 3 because I've got a dedication. The first track you're going to listen to is Sunset Skies from Pete Standish of Northern Lyrics, and he wanted me to mention his dad who lost his battle to cancer in 2009, and this song he wrote, and I think you'll agree it's quite an emotive song. And he wants to thank his wife Laura for being there for him, and he wanted to tell her how much he loved her and how much he absolutely adores her support and appreciation for his work, and also his son Junior, that he loves him too and he means the world to him. So Junior and Laura, I hope you're sitting, and I hope he's got you a nice glass of something. Junior probably lemonade, but Laura a nice glass of wine or something fizzy, as you both tune in to this song which he's dedicating to his dad and to both of you too. Just a way of him telling you how much he loves you both.
I've been missing talking to you about the day, has been reminiscing on the times we have had. We just go back to when I was young and you would hold my hand, guiding me every step of the way. Where are you, Dad? 'Cause I'm still here but you're not. I keep seeing your face in the sunset skies, wishing I could hold you one more time. Brightest star in the night, hoping part of you still here in my life. Oh, 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 if I knew this was the last time together. Oh, oh, we'll keep this moment forever. I've been missing hearing your voice, hear us both of us laugh, reminiscing on the times we've had. Can we just go back to when I was a teen? I would ask for your advice, recommending me my first drink. Oh, how life can change in a few years. I keep seeing your face in the sunset skies, wishing I could hold you one more time. The brightest star in the night, hoping part of you is still here in my life. Oh, 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 if I knew this was the last time together. Oh, 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 I would keep this Wishing I could hold you one more time, brightest star in the night. Hoping part of you is still here in my life. Oh, oh, oh. If I knew this was the last time together, oh, 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 I would keep this moment forever.
Northern lyrics there with Sunset Skies. Wasn't that a beautiful track? And Pete sang that from his heart. You could tell that, couldn't you? In every line that he was singing there, that it came from the heart, from a very special place that sometimes we often take for granted. And that was for his father and for Laura and for Junior as well. Now, next up is Garnet Betts. We've been playing a few from Garnet over the last few weeks, so this is another one for your ears. This is Running from the Sun.
Monterey, sound asleep above the diesel, last seat, we're on our way. Tomorrow's never equal to our yesterday. Gave it the slip to find the sequel, chance at the wheel, get tomorrow today. In the still gray dawn, we're running from the sun, two of us moving on. You carry where you're from, but we've just begun. Running from the sun, running from the sun. A sleepless night at the thin wall, easy resting. Couple next door fell into a fight and loud love before daylight. Every day holds a rival, and every mile the road ahead. Been living for survival, we got nothing to give or lend. In the still gray dawn, we're running from the sun, two of us moving on. Yeah, you carry where you're from, but we've just begun. Running from the sun, in the still gray dawn, we're running from the sun, two of us moving on. Yeah, you carry where you're from, but we've just begun. Running from the sun, oh, running from the sun, running from the sun, all the way west now, running from the sun.
That was Garnet Betts there with Running from the Sun. Now another new artist for you, and I think you're going to like this. This is Brad Curtis and the Sometimes Six Band with Ghost Town. Now they're on Spotify, and I don't think I can find them on Instagram or Facebook, but I'll certainly try and tag them for you. On Spotify it looks like they've been creating music since 2018 with Dancing with Angels. And yes, I've added them to the Beastie track, so you'll be able to hear them again. But let's have a listen for now, and I think these are one you're going to want to follow.
I can see it coming. I can see it coming. Like like a thief in the night.
Like a thief in the night.
Cold winds are blowing.
Cold winds are blowing.
Everything is turning white.
Everything is turning white.
Like drifting in a ghost town. Drifting in a ghost town. Wake me in the morning.
Wake me in the morning.
So I can see your smile.
So I can see your smile.
Alarm bells are warning.
Alarm bells are warning.
Everything will be just fine.
Everything will be just fine.
Like drifting in a ghost town. Drifting in a ghost town. Ghost town. Like drifting in a ghost town. Drifting in a ghost town. Ghost town.
I can see it coming.
That was Brad Curtis and the Sometimes Six Band with Ghost Town. Now, I think you'll agree they are definitely one to follow, and there goes that sax again at the beginning. Brilliant intro. Now, another new artist for you, and I've got to say this slowly. This is Alcantara, so it's all one word, Alcantara, with Sail. Now, this is from an album which I think is called Tanam Shud, which is a strange name for an album, but I'll tell you a little bit about them when we come back. But for now, I just want you to listen to this track because it starts off and you kind of think, ooh, where is this going? What's happening here? But it's building an atmosphere for you because it's called Sail. Close your eyes. You'll imagine yourself on a quayside just about to embark on a journey across water. So just sit with this track, but just listen to all the elements that come in. And then when the vocals come in, it's a really eclectic mix, I think, of atmosphere and vocals. Just see what you think.
Thumb for myself. Eyes the sea contains. I sing to you. I sing to you. I sing to you.
Alcantara there with Sail hailing from Sicily, a sonic journey through Mediterranean landscapes and cosmic visions. Atmospheric blues made up of expansive soundscapes, reverberating guitars, hypnotic rhythms and lyric in Italian and English. Wasn't that lovely? I'd like to get to know more, and yes, I've added that to the Beastie tracks for you. Next up, we played one last week from 3x7. Here is another one. This is Blues Cliché, and this is from the album Dressing for the Weather.
This morning, ain't that always the beginning? And I'll say it again to you, just to make sure you're listening. Oh, every day is Monday, and the work is always hard. So tired of crying, what the hell is this all for? Am I just a blues cliche? Lonely nights and endless days, it ain't me, babe. It ain't me. I want icing for my cake. Nowhere I can get it, but I just can't stand the wait. My
was 3 times 7 there with Blues Cliché. Next up, Matrix Div Music is back with us. New album, Unfinished Business. This is Superhero.
Imagination conquers gravity. Soar higher, immovable becomes a rarity. Can't tire, bit by bit, day by day. And all this time, I've been getting stronger.
Matrix Div there with Superhero from the album Unfinished Business. Now another new artist for you. This is Arctic Baba with See You Now, and I'll tell you a little bit about Arctic Baba when we come back.
Remember back in 73, down at the club was the place to be. Those people were dancing. It's been a while now, so come on, sing our song, sing along. Here we go, let's go, 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 go. I just can't wait to see you again. Oh, your song are going right in my head. I just can't wait to see you now. Remember back in 73, down at the club was the place to be. waited all this time. It's like the sun don't shine when there is no music live. It's been a while now, so come on, sing the song, sing along. Here we go, let's go, 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 go. I just can't wait to see you again. Oh, oh, your song right in my head. I just can't wait to see you now. Remember back in 73, down at the club was a place to be. Those people were dancing around. I just can't wait to see you now. 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 I just can't wait, can't wait. I just can't wait to see you again. All of your songs are going right in my head. I just can't wait to see you now. Remember back in 73, down at the club was a place to be. Those people were dancing around. I just can't wait to see you now.
That was Arctic Baba there with See You Now. Now, I've tried to find them on Spotify and I have found them, and I'm hoping I'm going to be tagging the right artist because I can't see this track in their Spotify playlist as a new release. So either it's brand new and not actually been released yet and you're hearing it first, or I've got the wrong artist. But either way, I'll try and do some homework on that before next week's show. Now, next up is another new artist for you. This is Chloe Givlin. This is Go With My Feelings, and what a lovely track this is too. And she's going to set us really up nicely for the last set. I hope I've got time.
Experience death. My life came there, second of regress. Sometimes I might be
Chloe Givlin there with Go With My Feelings. She is an Eurasian rock star and she's been on a mission to bring hope through her sounds. She's blending raw emotion with fierce empowerment. Chloe studied fine arts at the University of Arts in London, where she discovered the power of making art that speaks for itself. She is going to lead us into the last set. What have I got in store for you? Can't believe we're nearly running out of time, so I've got to be quick for the last set. First up is Power Rob with Bending Grid. This is from the Dark Star album, and this is Shane. Rob there with Bending Grid from the album Dark Star. That was Shane. Next up is Blind Cobra. This is from the album Solsticio, and this is Solsticio. the way from Mexico, that was Blind Cobra with Solsticio. Now, if you are an artist and you would like your music on your show, then you can reach out to me on any of the social media platforms. You can reach out to us on the website www.spectrumonair.com and we will get your music on the show. I have got my own Dropbox folder now and I'll try and get that and post that in today's promo on Facebook for you. But it'd be great to have you on board, and I promise you, even if I can't get your track on immediately, I will get it in the coming weeks. And I've got another new artist for you now who is going to play us out. So I'm going to say goodnight and God bless. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you've enjoyed tonight's show as much as I have getting it together. It's been a bit of a rush this week, but I now want you to meet Erica Dunham, the creative force behind Unter Null, a spellbinding solo project that has taken the agrotech and industrial scenes by storm. Since launching in 1998 at the tender age of 17 in Seattle, Unter Null has become synonymous with innovative soundscapes and thought-provoking lyrics, blending dark electronic beats with raw, emotive vocals. So this is Unter Null with Coming Up to Breathe. And I will see you next week. Take care, everybody. Enjoy the rest of your Saturday and enjoy the rest of your weekend. And I'll see you next week. Bye-bye.